Good evening, y'all. What's up? What's up? How y'all feeling? Sorry, it took me a second. Had a little technical difficulties. What's going on, y'all? Yo, I was like, oh, he's definitely asleep, August. But welcome to Golden Rain Aries. Appreciate y'all so much for being here. I'm about to get right into it. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna be jumping into hopefully finishing Radical Dreamers today. Um, I won't be talking much during it because, like I said, I'm really doing YouTube. But I'm trying to decide if I want to play a game like afterwards. But we'll see. But how y'all been? What's going on? That nap took me. Look, when it does, your body is like that's why your body's saying, "Sit down, beloved." It was like take a load off, okay? It's fun though. I had a good time last night. Well, I'll chat more about that later though. What you been playing lately, August? Child, after the week. Yo, we honestly I'll probably be done streaming this. I have work tomorrow, so I'm not really doing too much. We got me some stuff. We got me a little boomer ski, you know. Oh, we need to pack. Yo, my Pokemon team has been kind of it lately. I can't wait to show you, bitch. I've been like murking a little bit. I still haven't. I'm low key. I might play a little Pokemon Champions if I finish this clip on the stream. So low key, let's get into this so we can play Pokemon. Cause I'm trying to rank up. I'm definitely trying to get my ranks up in Pokemon. You good? I had low key want to take a nap myself. Look, are you off today? Or are you still at work right now? Should take you home when you get home. I was just talking to somebody, and I was like, I don't nap often. I don't not the way I be moving. I think I may get like a nice nap, like midday nap, maybe like once every 6 months. That's crazy. I I really don't. Well, lately I kind of have recently have had naps, but that's been for specific reasons. Boy, this has been a time outside. I know, right? Yeah, I don't generally take naps like that. I don't think about it. It's either it's the big sleep or that's it. I never really get too many naps. But I think like the first time I napped in a long ass time was like 2 days ago. But like I said, that was probably like there was other circumstances partaking in that though. But yeah, it's good to hear. I hope everybody's doing well. But let me just I'm jump right into it because I definitely want to see if I can jump into some Pokemon or maybe start this new game that I've been kind of interested in getting into. So, let's see what we got for you. All right. But yeah, guys, like I said, just saying, I'm probably not going to be really reading chat that much, at least aloud. But I'll try to stay in. Hey, when people come in, I definitely want to say hey to y'all. I gotta make sure I get this YouTube thing going. Is this playing on both? Guess what? Alright, y'all, with no further ado, let's get back at it. So last time, I think we had met like a hobgoblin or something that started running a book, like threw a knife at the and it dodged it with a bullet. So, alright. So here we go. The goblin casually flung the book over his shoulder and into a nearby bin. Allow me to introduce myself, if I may. I'm Grunsmeld, and I am the guard on watch. No need to stand. Please do take a seat. You're welcome to tea, of course. The goblin beckoned us to sit down. Did he mean to poison us? If I may, Majid calmly took a seat, ignoring the obvious suspicion in the air. I looked to Kid, confused by how at home Majid seemed. I looked to Kid. She remained where she stood, seemingly unsure what to make of the goblin, but apparently quite sure she wasn't going to sit down. I decided to stay standing as well. The goblin poured in 3 cups of tea. Here you are. Without the slightest hesitation, Majid took his teacup and lifted it up to his lips. He sipped, then placed the cup back on its top. Heel Malayan tea. Not a blend I'd expect to find here. What a pleasure it is to encounter a fellow connoisseur. Yes, it's a rare blend and one mainly enjoyed by the noble classes. I couldn't believe the conversation I was hearing, but I also couldn't help wondering what this rare tea might taste like. My eyes rested on the cup that had been poured for me. I took a seat and picked up the teacup. "This is great," I blurted out. "I've never had such a delicious brew in my entire life." My aches and pains faded away. I glanced over at Kid, who was blowing manically at the liquid in her cup. I'd forgotten that she was paranoid about burning her mouth on things. Now, we're comfortable. Let's get down to brass tacks, as they say. I do indeed have the key to the dungeon, as you surmise, but you will also be aware that I cannot simply give it away. I glanced over to Kid. Again, typical. She wasn't listening to the word Grimsmill had said was saying. She was still huffing and puffing at her tea. It seemed it would be up to me to respond. "Here's our offer. Give us the key, and you get to live." I suppose that means you want something in return. "You'd like to know what I want? I want your heads." Grimsmill's eyes glistened behind his spectacles. I put my neck. Or rather, I'm sure that's what my employer would have me say. But no, I have no such barbarous aspirations. Furthermore, I doubt I'd be a match for you. Grimsmill chuckled when he said this. "What I live for is the joy of conversation. I fear my compatriots are ill-equipped to supply. Perhaps you might have one or two ripping yarns to share." Grinning, he added, "I'm sure notorious thieves such as yourself would have more than a few thrilling tales up your sleeves." So he went into your story. It seemed a more than fair price to pay for a key. I closed my eyes and thought, just the story. How did it begin? One night, a young girl was walking alone in the forest, and then she was out hunting for bugs. What was next again? She caught a beetle and let it go. The fragments I remembered of seeing the book right. I had a rough handle on how the ending would go. I took a breath and began my tale. One night, a young girl was walking alone in the forest. She was out hunting for bugs. She caught a beetle and painted it gold. The next morning, she set off into town to sell her catch. On the way there, she met some travelers and convinced them that the creature she carried was a fake beetle of fortune. She sold it to them for an eye-watering price. Rich at last, the girl and her mother lived happily ever after. Hey, Serge, the girl's name wouldn't happen to be Kid, would it? My blood froze. The quiet threat in the voice behind me. What? I'm just picking this up as we go along. Don't tell me you actually did all of that stuff. The moment I turned around, I found my neck caught in Kid's hands. How did you find out? How? I couldn't answer her. I couldn't even breathe. I braced myself for a slap across the cheek. But before it came, Grimsmill called out to stop her. He whispered a few weird words in her ear, then handed her a small bag. Her eyes glinted like stars. She had looked very pleased with herself indeed. She turned to me and Majil. Right, let's hurry up and kill her so we can have some of this tea. So Grimsmill had won her round with a special blend. She must have really liked the stuff. Then again, it was just like her to have her head turned next to me. Oh, don't forget this, said Grimsmill. She rammed off with getting what we came for. The key, as promised. I took it from Grimsmill's hand, and then with that, we left the room. Should I say, were we dragged out by a very excited Kid. Let's see where we're going now. We left the room and took the left turn down the corridor. We followed it for a while before coming to an intersection. The way to the right ended in the staircase going up. The corridor also continued directly ahead, but the way was completely shrouded by darkness. We went towards the stairs going up. The passage soon ended at the foot of some stairs. With Kid in the lead, we started to climb the narrow staircase. When we reached the top, we found ourselves at the end of the long, straight corridor. We continued on. We followed the corridor, eventually reaching the fork of the path. The path to the left would take us to the atrium, with the fountain. If we go straight, we'll take us to an old, sturdy door. I think we have to go to the dungeon, right? We continued straight towards the cell. We continued down the corridor, eventually reaching an old, rather sturdy-looking door. Right. Got that creepy old goblin should do the trick. Kid slipped the key into the lock. The heavy door groaned slightly as it slowly swung open. Clammy air rose up around our feet as if art crawled blindly through the darkness. This didn't seem like the kind of place anyone in their right mind would visit voluntarily. We pushed the heavy iron door and the rest of the way open and stepped into the darkness. There was a row of cells all behind bars, iron doors. 1, 2. Oh, Gulliver, Milligard, Durandal, forgive me, please, please, forgive me. Oh, Gulliver. Oh, we heard a voice of the third cell, whimpering and crying pathetically. I strained my eyes to look inside, and in the darkness I could see something that looked like a man sitting on the floor. So, this was the source of the voice. Hey, you alright, mate? Kid called out to the figure. Forgive me, it's my fault, It's my fault. The Dragoons never deserved this. General, Lady Riddell, forgive me, I beg you. The old man didn't seem to respond to us at all. He only sat facing the wall, begging forgiveness for him. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Asked Kid, trying to. They'll be getting through to him. He's real self-willed. Have long since retreated off inside the jail he's created, said Video, cutting her off. Shell? What do you mean? I asked. He built the shell around the core of his psyche in order to shield himself from the truth. He run from something terrible. He has seen something or been through something. Has done something. So, he's created his own world in the inside of a final refuge. The outside world lost him forevermore. I looked at Jill in surprise. I had detected a hint of unspoken sadness in his words. And for some reason, he was looking at the kid, watching over her as she stared the man into the cell. Seeming to notice my gaze, but Jill turned back to face me, assuming his usual emotionless expression once more. We live in a world of sorrow and foolishness. It's only inevitable that someone would try to escape it. But despite these hard words, his eyes retained a certain softness, his steely gaze giving way to a gentle light. Do you understand? I'm not quite sure I understand what you mean. Did you explain a little more? I asked. Of course. You have seen the wrapped state Kid before stealing something, I take it. Oh, I'd seen it all right. An image of Kid, hands clutched in front of her, swirling stars for pupils, floated immediately into her mind. The item in question may not be hers yet, but in her mind, she has already taken possession of it, become possessed with it even. In other words, she has been transported to a place completely outside of herself. The man you see before you has been transported to a similar place, albeit a more darker one. It made total sense to me now. I still find it amazing how an example from close to home explains so clearly. You're treading on some very thin ice here. Was he? I mean, he had a point. I used to cut short by the fist crashing into the side of my head. Don't you ever think about agreeing with him, Serge? I get on her bedside without even opening my mouth. It was almost impressive. We're not gonna get much. He's miles away. Just let him leave him be and try something else. He had made for the door of John Benjamin. Loki, that looked like radiance. Wait, called Benjamin. We will find some way to get this man to speak. What for? I mean, he's speaking already. Just none of it makes sense. What are you after? Some things, he said, piqued my curiosity. The Dragoons and Riddell. So he said the Dragoons are ancient history, snapped Kid. Besides, how could we trust it? He says he's clearly gone off his rocker. She had a point. The old man had long since cut his ties to the real world. What did Jill expect him to say? Without missing a beat, Jill replied, simply to bring him back to reality. Now, how are we going to do that? You want me to do a little dance for him or something? See if he gets his over going? I literally said, please don't. I knew if I said anything, I'd be nothing but an earful of lifetime in my turn, so I clamped my hands over my mouth to save myself. What are you playing at, Patch? Kid seemed unimpressed. That was so close. I don't think that would work, said Jill dryly. Kid flew straight towards his face, but Majil shifted his weight back to the attack and continued. We must break through the shell he's created and drag it back to the real world. And in order to do that, we'll need some sort of kind of key. Something that will reach even through the barrier he is erected. Yeah, where are we gonna find this key? Asked Kid suspiciously. no, came Magee's simple. There's something in this man who can tell us. You know what I mean? You're not talking about Riddell. I am, Majee replied. Alright, fine. Don't know what the heck you expect her to tell us, though. The kid turned to her heel and made for the door. We left the gibbering old man in the dungeon alone with his sorrow. I followed Kid and Majee back out into the corridor. Down our corridor, we came to a branch in the path. The path to the right would take us back to the atrium to the fountain. Let's go to the atrium because I think that's where Riddell's room is. The corridor was dark and clammy. We pressed on and soon the entrance to the atrium came into view. We arrived back at the atrium. Exit leading to the Lynx's and Riddell's room. The gate commonly was the cavernous space. Leaving the atrium behind us, we immediately found ourselves at the fork in the path. To the right was a passage to some stairs leading upward, a dark passage continued directly at where we stood. We could see a long path ahead. Or was it the one with the stairs? I think it was the one with the stairs. Kid leading the way started to climb the narrow staircase at the top of the intersection, taking the corridor to the right would lead us to a dead end with a large door. We turned back. Let me go to the blacksmith at the bottom. The path split. We took the passageway on the right. We came across an ornate door on the right side. This is the devil. Continued on our way. We went inside. We found ourselves in a tidy, welcoming room. The knickknacks and curios dotted around the place seemed well loved. The steady looking bed nearby, meanwhile, suggested the room's occupant was no stranger to luxury. The room was richly furnished. Somehow it still felt awfully lonely. Is someone there? Came a young woman. Testing. Damn, I wonder how long it was muted. I'm so sure. Thank you. Damn it. Whatever. I'm still gonna post it. Whatever. What's up, Drew? I am not your enemy. I want to help you. Dale only lowered her eyes sadly in response to Kate's question. Let's see. Testing. What's wrong with it? Okay, I'm probably to end this. Hey, hold up. Testing. All right, well, let's get back at it, y'all. Thank you, Drew. I guess I'm gonna read all this over again. I am not your enemy. In fact, I want to help you. There was a hint of hesitation or deception in her voice. Let me guess, you're trapped in this mess too, eh? Riddell only lowered her eyes sadly in response to Kid's question. The frozen flame should never have been allowed to fall into Lynx's hands. Riddell spoke quietly, but deep emotion clearly underpinned her words. Flame was not one of the property of the ancient kingdom, who kept it for generations. It was said to have an uncanny power to guide the relationships for itself. After the kingdom fell, the flame changed hands countless times, until eventually it came into my father's possession. Alright, there we go. I think that's better. I think I had it like super loud. My bad, yo. Alright. That was before I was born. Sometime later, Lynx became aware of the flame's true value and approached my father under false pretenses of friendship. Not a soul suspected what his true intentions were. And then, on that horrible day, he destroyed everything. He killed everything. Riddell shook her head, then buried her face in her hands. I don't care about the frozen flame. I don't care about that stupid accursed stone. It means nothing to me. I just want to take it away from Link and smash it to pieces right in front of him. And only we can make that happen. Riddell looked up with surprise as Jill spoke up. No one else in the world can see the jewel from Lynx. Jill stared speechlessly. And then, in a low voice, she whispered, "What can I do to help you?" There's a survivor of the Akai Dragons in the dungeon who we want to help. And if we were to help him, we need your help, Mr. Jill. Taking a step forward. What? That man is a traitor. It is because of him that Zorada. Please, it's the only way. Jill turned her back on us and hung her head low. This is Riddell, the Chamber of Death. There might be something to bring him back to his senses there. After all, it was there he chose to abandon his pride. I assume the Chamber of Death must be the cell with the trash ceiling. Riddell nodded. Yes, it's gonna be a problem without it, kid. That thing damn near killed us last time. You need to take the Endlazer with you. It's a sacred sword said to have been forged by an ancient sage and a sinister blade to the Crimson Curse Masamune. Timeless beings of the Endlazer will surely keep you safe from the Chamber of Death's wickedness. It used to be such a sight to see in the hands of Zora. They danced like the wind, shone like the stars, and struck like lightning. Lost again in memory of other times, Riddell once more bowed her head. Forgive me, I have little more to tell you. You told us more than enough. We'll take our leave now, said Majid, turning and making for the door. I wish I had the strength to change things like you do, whispered Riddell, biting her lip. It hesitated for a moment, seemingly deep in thought. It ain't about strength, it's about our purpose. Something to fight for. I'll be praying for you. It shot Riddell a look over her shoulder. Wait, maybe you can cross your fingers too. We left the room. passage outside the room continued to our left and right. Going right would take us to Lynx's room. Meanwhile, we left would take us to the atrium. We continued down the corridor until we reached the intersection. There was a left turn to the corridor leading to some stairs going up. The corridor also continued straight towards the entrance. We went to the atrium because I think we can get to the dungeon from the atrium. We arrived. True shadows. I gotta get a shout out. Arrived back at the atrium. On the other side, there was an open exit that led deep into the manor. We pressed on. We went to the atrium and continued down the corridor before finding ourselves at a fork in the road. The corridor stretched off to the left and right. Or rather, sturdy looking door. We continued and reached the sturdy looking door. We went inside. I hope this is the last time I have to come in here. Pushed the heavy iron door and the rest of the way open and stepped into the darkness. There was a row of stairs all blocked behind iron bars. 1, 2. The old man's plight preyed in my mind. Couldn't he see how senseless this was to punish himself like that? Come on, let's make it quick. We won't be wanting us hanging around for long, and I for one don't want to stay any longer than I have to. I'll Kid and Majil back out of the corridor. Making our way down the dark corridor, we can't. Wait a minute. Get down the corridor until some stairs. Okay. Let's go down the stairs. Descending deep into the shadows as we went. At the bottom, we found ourselves at another intersection. Kitchen. Now we turn back. I think I have to go to Lynx's room, huh? We pressed on soon the entrance in the interview. Found ourselves on the forked path. The right was a passageway to some stairs leading upward. Dark passage continued on directly ahead of where we stood. This was short. I think I have to go to Lynx's room. The corridor to the right would lead us to the dead end with a large door, while the way to the left led to the terrace, the narrow side passageway in front of us. We took the corridor to the right towards the main door. Oh. I think I went the wrong way. To the right. Kid stopped. There's something there. Rattle, rattle. A figure appears in the darkness on the other side of the corridor. Uh-oh. It's a skeleton! We readied ourselves for a fight. Come on, then. I looked at the skeleton. We lashed out with the sword. Blood dripped from my face. The tip of the blade that scratched my cheek. Eep! Jumped back in panic. Oh, watch your brown trousers, brown kid. He squared off against the skeleton. I threw the sword it was carrying to the ground and took a step forward and then twisted his body in a strange pose. Wait, it was doing what I think it is. It contorted itself, adopting a shape that could only be described as tireless jest. For a moment, no one knew quite how to respond. What the bloody hell? What should we... Kid, wait, look at Meg! Just seemingly completely bewitched. There was no way he'd be any use in this state. Alright, checked. Come on, then. I charged at the skeleton. I took advantage of the opening created when it sort of get as hard as I could in his lower spine. There was an almighty crack as the bone snapped, and then the skeleton fell in two. A split second later, he had landed a massive blow on the top half. With the skull shattered, the skeleton immediately came to a halt. Yes, she could fight after all. He defeated the skeleton. Kid turned her back to Magio. Can't believe this Drogo though. Thwack, she brought her fist down hard on his head. Maybe that'll wake you up now. If we're done, we gotta get a bloody move. Gotta get a bloody move on. I was doing great. I felt like nothing could stop me. Maybe you ain't such a Drogo after all. Just goes to show any weirdo can make something of themselves if they put their mind to it. Kid's eyes glinted with mischief. We left the atrium and continued down the path. It was Riddell's room. We continue on. We gotta go to Lynx's room. It was Lynx's room. This is where we've been hiding. Lynx yelled as she barged into the room. Is Lynx here? I followed after her. I looked around to see no one else but us. Where is he? Lynx was just standing there, clearly not in danger at all. A joke, idiot. As the strength drained from my body. Thought I was serious, did you? Chuckled Kid, trying not to laugh too hard. I bet you wish you could live the easy life rather than trapsing around after me, huh? In the round after me. Your face. I ignored it and walked over to the mirror draped with the red silk. Hi there. Sorry about all the noise. The statue of Venus in the mirror grinned back at me. That's quite alright, I said. What is your desire? Came her husky also. Nothing much. I just thought I'd check on you since I'm here. You mustn't say something. Your friend will become envious, she giggled mischievously. You what? Said Kid, her voice completely flat. And why would I be envious? Please, there's no need to be upset. I have a gift for you. Oh yeah? Yes, well, one might call it that. I thought you might be interested to see what it's like inside the mirror. Wait, so you invited us to the realm of mirrors? It was suddenly piqued. It won't take up much of your time. Come, Kid, step inside. The surface of the mirror rippled like water. She reached out her hand towards the glass, then hesitated. She deliberated for a moment, finally pulling it back. You go first, sir. You're my favorite. Are you sure? Kid nodded, filled with excitement. I pressed my hands to the mirror. The surface was like cool water on my fingertips. No, Serge, you mustn't. Suddenly, cracks formed in the glass. I gasped. What's happening? The statue of the mirror was weeping. I wish you weren't so trusting. You forget I serve Lynx. What? I blurred out. I meant to trap you and your friends. The cracks in the mirror were bigger, splintering off into more and smaller cracks, and that is not at all. I foresaw you coming long ago and warned Lynx of it. But why? You were imprisoned here by Lynx, weren't you? Sighed Magio. Statue of Venus nodded mournfully. He sealed the path to mirrors beyond, preventing me from leaving the manor. Were someone to shatter all the mirrors within the manor walls, I would be doomed. I would vanish, separated from my siblings forever. Eventually, the statue raised its head, but I cannot stand to be at his mercy anymore. The cracks deepened further, and shards of glass began to fall to the floor. Stop! I can't let you do this, I grabbed the mirror frame with both hands. This is what I want. Lynx will not suffer me to live after I betraying him. At the image in the mirror, looking at me. But why are you trying to help us? Would that be your final question, sir? Something in this voice felt like the trace of a smile. Very well. The truth is but just then the mirror finally split from top to bottom. The image lips moved gently, but no words came. I tried to scream, but I could do little more than whimper. I took the shard of glass from the floor and gripped it tightly in my hand. Sledge, behind me, Kid was softly calling my name. I gave a slight nod and slowly turned around. Let go. As we left from the room, I trying to look back one last time. My eyes clinged to the remains of the mirror. I'd never been able to hear the voice again. I turned again and left the room. corridor stretched out beyond the door. We retraced our steps. Rattle. He had stopped us. There's something there. I listened carefully. Rattle. A figure appeared in the darkness on the other side of the corridor. It's a skeleton! We readied ourselves for the fight. Situation. We squared off against the skeleton. It threw the sword it was carrying to the ground and took a step forward, and then it twisted its body into a strange pose. It's doing what I think it is. Described highly suggestive. We only knew quite how to respond, but the bloody hell. Wait, kid, look at Mad. Magil seemed completely belligerent. There was no way he'd be able to use that state. I attacked. I took advantage of the opening when it raised its sword. We were ready. As hard as I could to his lower spine, the almighty crack as the bones snapped and the skeleton flew into it. A split second later, Kid landed a massive blow on the top half. With the skull shattered, the skeleton immediately came to a halt. Kid can fight after all. We defeated the skeleton. Kid turned her attention back to Magil. Can't believe this drunk though. Thwack! She brought her fist down hard on his head. Maybe I gotta wake you up. Now, if we're done here, let's get the blood move on. What was that? I was doing great. I felt like nothing could stop me. Just goes to show any old weirdo can make something of themselves if they put their mind to it. Kid's eyes glinted with mischief. Eventually, we came across an ornate door on the left-hand side of Sordel's from Link's starter. Let's click inside. We found ourselves in a tight, welcoming room. The knickknacks and curios dotted around the place seemed to be well loved. The state desk and the cozy-looking bed nearby, meanwhile, suggested that the room's occupant was no strange luxury. But the room was richly furnished. Somehow, it still felt awfully lonely. Verdell was sitting in the sofa gazing wistfully at something in her hand. It was an old lady photograph. She noticed us looking at her and gently beckoned for us to come over. Is something the matter? She asked politely, gesturing at some seats nearby, invited us to sit down. Lota! Kid bluntly refusing the offer. You must seek out the end lights. Without it, you will never be able to dispel the curse of the Chamber of Death. Don't need to tell me twice. Verdell's gentle voice followed, take care. And then she spoke back still to the lady of the matter. You're not helping just to make the old man suffer for more, are you? Put him in danger and put him in the dungeon in the first place. And why? Verdell looked away and said nothing. Keep your trap shut if you want. Just remember that we ain't here to do your dirty work. And you can think twice before you mess us out. I'm looking out for me and me alone. I know, said Verdell, a whispered reply with vanished in the night air. We left her to her works and returned to the corridor. Okay, let's see. So we need to go to the phone. So where is the end laser? His left corridor leads upstairs upwards. Let's do this. Take the corridor to the right, led us to a dead end with a large door, while the way to the left led to the terrace. The narrow side passageway in front of us was open. We took a corridor to the main hall. Peeked inside, looked at the coast is clear. We stepped into the main hall, providing dim flickering lights in the corridors of the room, dancing in and of the shadow. Several enormous portraits glowed down from high from the wall. These members of Link's family. I was busy staring at the painting depicting an intimidating old man when his eyes suddenly widened and he stuck his tongue out at me. No, I was just seeing his head. It just looked that way because of how the flickering light of the candles was reflecting off of the glossy oil paints. I mean, that could totally happen, right? Definitely. Okay, maybe. This place gives me the creeps. Get a load of all those ugly mugs. There's nothing for us here. Let's look somewhere else. Neither Magil nor I have had any options. We left the main hall and returned to the corridor. Left the hall and returned to the corridor. Eventually, it led us to an intersection. Stairs going down to the right, dark side passageway. Keep going straight, we arrived back at the terrace. Let's go to the terrace for a second. We kept following the corridor. Something's there. We could look around and see what it was. There was nothing behind us or in front of us. Where could it be? Then, just as I was trying to figure it out, the wall began moving. A rectangular section opened up and swung around with two enormous goblins clinging to the back. It was like something from those stories about assassins sneaking out around old castles. Goblins! Screamed Kid. They definitely looked like goblins. Maybe a torch touch on the large side. When there was four total, two in front of us and two who had appeared behind us, setting off our path to escape. She rushed towards the two behind us. Meanwhile, Kid leapt at the two in front, holding her knife in both hands. And the knife and rushed the Kid's side. Crash! The spike, a ball of the goblin's smashed to the ground, crushing the stone floor. Kid nimbly leaped up into the air, evading the attack and landing on the goblin's exposed hand. She swung upward towards the goblin's head, plunging her knife into its left eye. She flipped backwards and stood ready for the next attack. That was Kid's side. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The next goblin charged in, swinging on a morning star towards me. If she could do it, so can I. Jumped the moment just before the attack landed. The morning star crashed into the stone tiles. All I had to do next was land on the goblin's hand and finish off with my knife. Whoops, I missed my landing. Tripped up on the hand and wound flat on my back. It's not quite how I meant for it to happen though. And then I looked, the goblin was towering over me, swinging its morning star over its head once more. I'm done for. My life was flashed before my eyes. Then a knife shot through the air, plunging into the back of the goblin's hand. That was my chance. I buried my knife deep into the creature's heart. While the goblin was distracted, I seized my chance and I leapt toward it, aiming my knife directly at its heart. The blade disappeared into the goblin's chest and something struck me squarely in the head. It slowly dawned on me that as I faded out of consciousness, the dying goblin had dropped its morning star on me. A light darted through the darkness, and again. Surge, oi, wakey, no sleeping on the jaw, mate. Kid was slapping me back and forth across my face. Ow, hey, quit. Talk about rude awakening. Shut your pie, old. You should be thanking your lucky stars you woke up to see ravishing beauty and not some goblin. Ravishing beauty? You mean raging egomaniac? Is that what I wanted to? Was what I wanted to say, but I knew better than the rest. I felt like nothing could stop me. Baby, you ain't such a drogo after all. Just go show any weirdo makes something so they put their mind to it. That's Glinty with mischief. Alright, short way along the corridor, running from the right hand side of the stairs, an ancient looking door again on our right. Look like this the clock tower. Oh, yeah. Damn it. Damn it, is it choppy still? I have to restart. Cause my shit does it. This sucks. I might have to just redo the whole thing. Well, how about this? I mean, I had it for you too. I guess I could just take it down. It's not that important. Whatever. We'll see. Thank you, Ketamine. I appreciate you, baby. Damn. Why does my string be? Alright. We continue on because I've been in the clock tower. You return to the creeping down to the darkened hallways as silently as we could. Continuing on down the corridor, we came across a sturdy looking door on our left. We went inside. No time for baubles of frozen flames for us. We went in the direction of the stairs going up. some stairs. Testing, testing. Testing, testing.